I'm Shauna Rappaport, the Director of Engagement for Verge. We are here at Verge Hawaii, and I'm delighted to be joined by Brendan Hayashi, who is the Hawaii Regional Manager for Optera. Welcome, Brendan.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us. So Optera is the primary microgrid operator, systems operator for the microgrid that we have right outside that in fact is powering everything that we have in this main ballroom across the event. I'd love to know a little bit about what the experience has been like for you participating in the microgrid and if there have been any surprises or major learnings along the way.
You know, there's been no problems whatsoever. It's all good. No, like anything else with a construction project, you lay the best plan possible, but you obviously have to have a contingency plan because construction, things happen, you adjust, you reconfigure, and you make it work at the end of the day. There hasn't, in all seriousness, been a whole lot to reconfigure or to go to a plan B or plan C here locally. With this microgrid, it's actually been quite seamless as far as the implementation. Great partners, you know, a good design with good partners leads to a good product at the end of the day.
Well, so much of what's really unique about having the microgrid here, which we've built at past Verge events, is the island context. Yeah. You know, what's the real opportunity in microgrids on islands?
Sure. So just to back up for a second, one of the things to make it local, to your point, is that what's feeding the gasifier here locally are locally grown macadamia nut shells. So that's just one thing for the microgrid here. But as far as at scale, and certainly across the islands, there are opportunities both within state level, for example, a state agency such as Department of Education, to be able to take advantage of microgrids, as well as the private sector. You know, we're driven by the hospitality sector. So when we talk about hotels and resorts and other large consuming types of buildings, hospitals and so forth that have 24/7 load, there's opportunities there in addition to the bigger state-run type of things. So that's one of the things, for example, that we're doing, right? We're working with the Department of Education through what's called the KAHE program.
Talk a little bit more about that. Well, I want to go back to the microgrid piece for just a second. You know, it's clear that there's such a sweet spot of opportunity here in the island context. Is that transferable to the mainland and other contexts?
Sure, I think there are a lot of lessons that can be transferable. Certainly when you're looking at things from a perspective where you're looking at cost and benefit. So when we talk about energy arbitrage, demand response, and those kind of things, no matter where you are, there are going to be opportunities to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
But when we look at the context of our islands, right, we have 8 islands, 7 of whom have actual people living on them, and 4 major islands where we have large population density centers. And then we have separate grids on each of those islands, right? So the opportunity here is about really looking at things from an overall island energy resiliency perspective. And that's where microgrids can play a key role. Now, there are resiliency opportunities that happen on the mainland as well too, but you can always have a backup, right? You're land connected. California's next to Arizona. Or, you know, there's a lot of opportunities. California's not connected to Arizona, but it's right next to Nevada. But there's opportunities there that we just don't have, right? So it's really about that resiliency at the end of the day.
Well, before we close, I want to go back to that Department of Education partnership. You know, Optera has really been pushing the envelope on partnership with the public sector, particularly with the schools. You know, what's the opportunity that Optera sees around that, and what's the nature of this project specifically with the K through 12 schools here in Hawaii?
So with the Department of Education, there's a number of opportunities to the microgrid. Certainly it is to reduce their energy costs. They spend over $40 million a year just on electricity alone. So just pure economics, that's one thing, right? Then we talk about being able to put forth the state in a very position to be innovative in how they solve for those problems. Importantly, again, when we talk about energy resiliency, 215 of the 256 public schools across our islands are designated hurricane evacuation centers.
Wow.
It is an opportunity to not just create safety for our people in times of need, but also to strategically allow things such as medical triage, heating of water, lights, and so on and so forth. So we can really survive the big ones. If we have a category 5 coming here like the way Katrina did, we're in a very bad spot. So this would allow us to be able to get over that initial hump for 72, 96 hours.
Brendan, thank you so much for your leadership at Optera and helping to enable a not just cleaner and safer, but certainly more resilient, resilient energy system for us all.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.